Hi everybody, this is just a quick video to introduce my new doll. This is her here. This is little Heidi. Obviously this video is not being done in natural daylight, and as I said before in my last video, pardon me, Heidi was a little doll I bid on eBay. My favourite sculpt. Her painting isn't perfect. She has been painted with Special Care Nursery paints, but the girl didn't know how to make the reborn doll look realistic. So she doesn't have any veins or mottling, she doesn't have any skin complexion, she doesn't have any creasing, she doesn't have any glossing, she doesn't have any tip nails. She is basically just the colour of the vinyl with a few bright pink spots down her legs and her hands, and a pink nose, two pink cheeks, peachy coloured lips, and just got another pink spot on her head. Her eyelashes aren't too bad, her eyebrows aren't too bad, and the painted hair isn't too bad either. Her painting I'm not particularly worried about because, as you all know, I use air dry paints myself, and whenever I get time, I was going to give her a complete makeover, but her paint really doesn't annoy me. So I think when I get time, sometime in the near future, I think I'll maybe just give her paint a touch up, and I'll add things like creases and mottling, and veins and stuff like that to make her look more realistic. The biggest problem was what she was stuffed with. So the girl had told me that she was light, she was 3 pounds, she was the same weight here as Hope. And as you'll know, I kind of like my dolls to be that wee bit heavier, especially because she would fit into 0 to 3 months size clothes with the 3/4 limbs. I have found anyhow, it probably differs between the sculpts. And when I took the doll out of the box, that's why I didn't do a box opening video. When I took the doll out of the box, the doll's head was tiny, the limbs were fine, but she had this great big bulky body and felt really heavy. And I thought to myself, there's no way that doll feels 3 pounds. So I had originally planned, because the woman had said she was 3 pounds, I had originally planned on restuffing her. So I took the doll apart and I started with the body. I have never seen stuffing like it in my life. It was so rigid, the stuffing, so heavy. I took it out and there was 2 wee small packets down at the bottom of glass granules inside the body. I have restuffed the body with softer, cuddly doll stuffing, and there's no weight in the body whatsoever. The only weight in the doll now is the glass granules, which are stuffed in her arms and legs. And then moved on to the head, which was an even bigger shock. After I pulled out more rigid stuffing from the head, I discovered 2 latex gloves filled with talcum powder. Now, it was impossible to get those out of the head. I just had to burst a hole and let the talcum powder fall out because I couldn't get them out of the head whatsoever. There was 2 bits of glue also fell out of the head. They must have been in behind the eyelashes to keep the eyelashes in. So it made a right mess all over the place. I managed to get this done while Jasmine was sleeping. I managed to clear up the mess just before she woke. I'm asthmatic and you don't think about doing these things at the time, but there was still talcum powder loose inside the head, and so I blew inside the head to try and get it out. But although it didn't give me a coughing fit, it didn't work anyway. There's still bits of talcum powder stuck inside the doll's head. So again, I have just stuffed the head with the soft cuddly doll stuffing that I used for the body. So there's no weight in the doll now whatsoever, except, as I say, the glass granules in the doll's limbs. I am waiting on smaller cable ties coming for the limbs. They should be here tomorrow because I want to stuff the limbs because they're stuffed with rigid stuffing too, so I want to stuff them with the softer stuffing. And as I say, the only thing that will be weighted will be the glass granules in the limbs, but I don't mind, because I'd rather have a cuddly doll than have a doll which is stuffed with unsafe materials like that. You know, so I was a bit shocked, and I went and I messaged the girl on eBay, and she said that's the way she makes all her dolls. She's only made 3 of them, and she's never had any complaints before. Obviously not everybody has taken the doll apart, so that's probably why she's had no complaints before. But I'm glad I did take the doll apart to see what was inside it. I know it could have been a lot worse, but at least I have it more or less fixed now, and further down the line then I'll touch up the paint. But I did take some photographs, not in natural light because I didn't get time to do that today. I was doing that tonight. But I will take another video tomorrow with the 2 girls and Jasmine and her doll and pram, and let you see Heidi. This is Heidi here, and the Molly by Tash Edenholm Sculpt, and this is Hope, the wee reborn preemie. So I'll do another video. Actually, I'll not get a chance to do it tomorrow because my mum's coming up. It'll probably be Thursday or Friday then. I'll do another wee video with all the dollies, including Jasmine's, and with Jasmine as well, and I'll show you Heidi here in daylight, and you can see for yourself what she's like. But as I say, I'm not too worried about the painting on the doll at the minute, because if you remember, when my Richard arrived, he was totally orange. He was like an Oompa Loompa, and his skin was so rough. You know, the vinyl was so rough, and that was really annoying. But she looks sort of human-like, but she's not exactly, she doesn't really resemble a real baby, as you can see. I mean, if you look closely there, you don't even have to look closely. If you look at the 2 of those sculpts, you can easily see that Hope is by far the more realistic looking one of the 2, and she actually looks bigger at the minute than Heidi, even though Heidi's supposed to be 0 to 3 months size and Hope is supposed to be a preemie. So it's quite funny, you know, the different sculpts. The other thing I like about Heidi is the sculpt I had before, same sculpt as that, Molly by Tash Edenholm by Molly by Tash Edenholm, and he was my Richard. I had him as a boy. His vinyl I thought was soft back then, but this sculpt here on the back of its head says Bountiful Baby 2009, and it's even softer vinyl than what that other Molly was that I had. So I'm very surprised about that. I didn't realise that Bountiful Baby sculpts, maybe they're not all like that, I don't know. Anybody else that has a Bountiful Baby sculpt, is your Bountiful Baby sculpt, is it really, really soft? Because that feels almost like, nearly like silicone. It's really, really soft vinyl. So it is, but it definitely says Bountiful Baby on the back of the neck, so it definitely isn't, you know, a cheap vinyl. But it definitely is a lot softer vinyl than the other Molly by Tasha Edenholm kit that I won. But I just wanted to share my intriguing story with you. So talcum powder is a new thing to weight your doll with. Imagine that. Maybe that's a new tag we could start. The weird and wonderful things that your reborn dolls have been weighted with. If you have had an experience like mine, I don't seem to have very good experiences at any time with my reborn dolls. This is what the 2nd or 3rd reborn doll that I haven't had such a good experience with. The only one I have had a good experience with is Wee Hope here. But yeah, that'd be a good tag if anybody's had an experience like mine. What is the weird and wonderful things you have found inside your reborn doll that it's been weighted with? I'd love to know, because I thought talcum powder, like when I seen the latex, I kind of felt, I seen the latex glove and then I felt inside it and I thought, what is that for? It felt gooey and I thought, what on earth is that? And then when I busted a hole in it because I couldn't get it out, and the talcum powder come out anywhere, I kind of was relieved that that's all it was, talcum powder. It could have been worse, but you know, still it shouldn't have been weighted with talcum powder in the head. It's a wonder it wasn't weighted with talcum powder in the body too, but there you go. So that is Heidi's story. And as I say, I'll come back to you all soon, let you see our natural daylight and see what you think. So I'll talk to you all again soon. God bless everybody. Bye.